Chuck Fletcher, didn't I warn you? Didn't I warn you to do something about this team? Didn't I tell you if you didn't do anything, then I would make your life a living hell, Chuck? Well, guess what? I am gonna make your life a living hell. Because let me tell you something, Chuck. If I lose this hockey team, if they're sold to another city or another market, I swear, Chuck, I am going to ruin your life. I am going to destroy your life, Chuck. If I lose this team, I lose my identity. And if I lose my identity, that's where I make you suffer, Chuck. You are the scourge in my life. You are the fly in my iced tea. And let me tell you something, Chuck. I am sick and tired of your cheap ass trades, your cheap ass free agency deals, and your cheap ass toupee, your cheap ass suit, your cheap ass smile, and your cheap ass Minnesota accent. Let me tell you something, Chuck. Why don't you walk your ass out of Philadelphia, because I don't want to see your stupid face in my city ever again. Get the hell out, Chuck. Get the hell out of my city and get the hell out of my sight, pal. Let me tell you something, Chuck. I've been doing this all my life. You know something, Chuck? Try being me. Try being me, Chuck. Somebody who has to go through this every single year. Try to live with that, Chuck. And Comcast, I know you don't give a shit, but you know, there are a lot of Flyers fans that have disabilities, and they love the Flyers. Comcast, what you're doing is wrong. It's wrong and immoral. And let me tell you something, Comcast, or should I say, Shitcast, because that's what you are, Comcast. You're a bunch of shit. You're a bunch of shit, that's what you are. Comcast, you took my team and you ruined it. At first, you had to wait until Ed Snyder passed away to destroy the team. Let me tell you something, Chuck Fletcher. You are the biggest moron that ever ran this team. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. You are, without a shadow of a doubt, the downfall. You are responsible for the downfall of this hockey team. And I find it amazing that it took you about 2 years to destroy this team. It took you about 2 years. And I gotta admit, Chuck, that's pretty impressive. But let me tell you something. I'm not impressed. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You ran this team into the ground just because you have a few excuses about what players we have. Let me tell you something, Chuck. You are a piece of shit. You are an inept, brainless piece of trash. Remember one more thing. I'm not done yet. Hey, Chuck Fletcher, I can say whatever I want about you because you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And I hope that your ass gets fired. I really hope that you do something stupid and you get fired. But you know, you've done several stupid things. But nobody has the balls to fire you. Because they're afraid. They're afraid. Chuck Fletcher, you're a disgrace to this city. You're even a bigger disgrace to this city. You're a disgrace to this city. You really are. You ruined the city. I hope you know that. But, you ruined the city, Chuck. You ruined this fan base. It's not fun anymore. It's come to a point when it's not fun anymore. Hey, Chuck Fletcher, if you think I'm gonna quit because of your stupidity, you got it all wrong. Comcast, if you think you're gonna break me, you got another thing coming. You can't break me. I'm Timmy Flyers guy, bitch. Hey, Chuck Fletcher, I hope you get fired. I hope you get fired. The day you get fired, I'm gonna throw a party. I'm gonna have a parade. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. When your ass gets shit canned, you piece of shit. Let me tell you something about Chuck Fletcher, everyone. Chuck Fletcher doesn't give a shit about us. He doesn't give a shit about the Flyers fans. Comcast doesn't care about us. To them, we're second-class citizens. And it's not right. We have been an oppressed fan base. And it's time for us to fight back. It's time for all of us to band together and get Chuck Fletcher out of Philadelphia by any means necessary. Let's get rid of Chuck Fletcher. Let's all team up and get rid of that son of a bitch. Let's get rid of him. Let's do whatever it takes to get that son of a bitch fired, to get that son of a bitch removed from the city of Philadelphia, and get him banned from the city of Philadelphia. Chuck Fletcher does not deserve to be in this great city. He doesn't deserve to be in the presence of such great sports fans as us. Chuck Fletcher is beneath us, and we need to fight back against that moron. We need to fight back against his stupidity. Fight back against his incompetence. I know there's a lot of disgruntled people that work for Chuck Fletcher. I know that. So if any of you have the guts to save this hockey team, then I suggest me and you team up to take down Chuck Fletcher for good. We don't want to kill him. We don't want to kill him. We just want him out of here. So let's not go too far. So let's all team up and get rid of Chuck Fletcher. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. We're going to get rid of Chuck Fletcher. Chuck Fletcher, watch out. Because you're going to have an army of Philadelphia Flyers fans on your ass. And let me tell you something, Chuck Fletcher. You better watch out. Because you mess with Flyers fans, hell, you pay, brother. You pay. So Flyers Nation, let's do it. Let's get rid of Chuck Fletcher. Let's do it. Who's with me? Who's with me? Let's get rid of that son of a bitch. We're gonna get rid of that piece of shit. It's time we fought back. This is our team. This is our team. And we're gonna save it. And we're gonna do whatever it takes to get rid of Chuck Fletcher. Chuck Fletcher, you better watch out. Because the clock is ticking, bitch. Better watch out, Chuck. Your ass is gonna get fired. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna find ways to get you fired, Chuck. And it's gonna suck for you. See, Chuck, I want you to know what it feels like to suffer. What it feels like to suffer, Chuck. You made us suffer. Now let's see how you like it, Chuck. Let's see how you like to to suffer. Chuck, if I lose this team, then you're a dead man, Chuck. If I lose, well, you're not a dead man, literally, but you know. Let me tell you something, Chuck. You mess with my hockey team, you mess with me. You mess with my city, you mess with me. You mess with the Flyers fans, you mess with the leader of the Flyers Nation, Timmy Flyers guy. Chuck Fletcher, I want you out of my city. I don't ever want you to come back here ever again. And if any cops, if any of you police officers see Chuck Fletcher, I want you to make sure that you keep him out of the city of Philadelphia. And I want to make sure that security keeps Chuck Fletcher out of the Wells Fargo Center. And I'm going to make sure that that piece of shit never comes back into my city again. You got that? Chuck Fletcher doesn't deserve to be here. Chuck Fletcher needs to be kicked out of the city of Philadelphia. He is the worst general manager that ever worked for this Flyers organization. And if Ed Snyder was still alive, he would grab Chuck Fletcher by his scrawny little fat neck, and he would give Chuck Fletcher the beating of his life, and he would throw Chuck Fletcher's scrawny little ass right out the door, and he would tell Chuck, "Don't you ever come back here again, you piece of shit." And then spit on him. Well, I'm not spit on him. I don't like spitting on people. But just kick him out. And say, "You know, Chuck, I would spit on you. But you know what? I'm Ed Snyder, and I'm a good man, and I wouldn't do that to you. But I will tell you to get the hell out of my office, get the hell out of here, and don't come back, you waste of space." Chuck Fletcher, prepare yourself, because we're going to find many ways to get your ass fired. And you won't even see it coming. Because, Chuck, I warned you. I warned you, Chuck. I warned you. You got anything else that you want to do to screw this team up? Just try me, Chuck. Just try me. Just try me. Don't mess with something I love, Chuck. You mess with something I love, I mess with you. Get ready. Get ready to play the game, Chuck. Because you'll lose. Do you know who I am, Chuck Fletcher? Do you know who I am? I'm Timmy Flyers guy. Flyers hockey is in my blood. And when you mess with Flyers hockey, you mess with my family. You mess with tradition. You mess with pride. And Chuck Fletcher, karma is going to catch up with you. And you are going to have a rude awakening, Chuck. A rude awakening. I got 3 words for you, Chuck. Danny. I got 3 words for you, Chuck. Danny freaking Briere.